School reopening. Federal government considering morning and afternoon classes as one of their policies for the reopening of schools. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Steve. Anyway, according to what has been going on in the nation with the COVID-19 pandemic and all the lockdown and everything, people have been considering what is going to be the policy of the government on reopening the schools so that people can go back to school. The tertiary institutions, especially the secondary school students who are really waiting, especially the SS3 students who are really waiting to carry on with their WAEC examination and the NECO and all of that. So a lot of things at stake at the very moment. So people are like, when are these children going to be able to go back to work? Are they going to lose a year of the academic calendar to this thing? So that's exactly what is happening. So people have been looking over to the government to give answers. What is going to be the overarching policy of the government in dealing with this thing in the educational sector? So that's according to the Minister of State for Education, that's Emeka Nwajuba. He actually disclosed this, that what the government is actually planning now is that we might start having morning and afternoon classes, and that means that there might be a particular section of the students of a particular school that will go to school in the morning, maybe leave before 12, and then another section will come over in the afternoon, let's say maybe around 12 or 1, and start their own school, so as to give enough space for people to be able to socially distance in the schools. And then he actually mentioned what I've been saying for the past 2 weeks, that most of the reasons, like the major reason why the government is not trying to release students to go back to school, is not particularly because of the health of the student themselves, because all the data we have about this virus points to the fact that this thing is not particularly lethal towards children. So the danger that is actually in it is that they might contract the disease and take it over to those people who are more vulnerable, like those people with pre-existing conditions in their family. Let's say maybe there's somebody with diabetes, there's somebody with obesity in the family, because it's actually one of those conditions. They call them comorbidities that can increase your risk of dying from the virus or your risk of having severe symptoms from the virus. So that's exactly the thing that is there. So now let's imagine a student contracts it. It's not going to give the student that much of a serious case. Probably doesn't even have any symptoms at all, because again, about 80% of people, regular people who have the virus, don't even have any sort of symptoms. So you won't even know that you are carrying the disease. That's one of the reasons why people are encouraged to use masks. The mask is not primarily about protecting you, it's about protecting anyone around who might be vulnerable to the virus. So that's it. So you might be somebody that is very young, maybe 20-year-old, very young, most likely not going to die from the virus even if you contract it. It's not really about you. It's about that 80-year-old man in there that might contract the virus and die the next day. So it's about looking out for one another within the community. So that's exactly what is going on. So it's about not allowing students to go back home and killing off their grandma unintentionally, infecting their grandma, their grandpa, maybe their dad maybe the dad is old already, and then killing off the grandpa, the dad, whatever, the family members. So that's exactly what you're trying to avoid. And all these cases of people that might die from opening the schools will be blamed on the government. They all understand this. Again, it's a situation that we call CYA. It's basically cover your ass. They are basically trying to protect themselves from criticisms. It's one of the reasons why they're trying to be as slow as possible so that they can find out the easiest way out, so that they will not be easily criticized by the opposition. You have to know that the PDP is basically just waiting on the sidelines right now, waiting for any opportunity to grab for blood, to scream for blood, to get them for anything. So that's it. Now, I believe that the two parties are basically the same thing. The same people run them, so they are all corrupt. Nobody cares about them. Nigerians don't trust either parties. They are basically corrupt. But we're not talking about the parties here. We're talking about, generally speaking, that's what the opposition would do. Let's say the APC is the one in opposition at this moment. That's exactly what the APC is going to do. So politics is very dirty. That's exactly what they're going to do. So they are very concerned about what the opposition is going to do, and this sort of bad press is going to give to them. So that's one of the reasons why they're trying to tread very softly on this issue. Make sure they don't take a rash decision. So that's one of the reasons. And then the minister actually tried to deny the claims going around that June 8th is going to be the resumption of schools. Again, it has been denied several times. It is false. It is fake news. June 8th is not resumption. Again, June 8th is not resumption. The people in charge of reopening the schools are telling you right now June 8th is not resumption. So take it to heart and let that sink in. Again, you have to understand that social distancing is something that is completely like it's almost impossible in schools, and that's the reason why they decided to follow this measure to, okay, if the students are not going to be trusted to be able to carry out social distancing on their own, we are going to reduce the number of students within the school at any point in time. So at any point in time, you have half of the population of the school. So let's say it's a school with 800 people, 800 students, we are going to be having 400 at any point in time. So you have twice the space that you used to have before. So it's going to give you a little bit more space to stay away from each other. But again, I don't think it's really going to work that much, because you can't really tell me that students are not going to go around playing football. They will play football, they are going to do all sorts of things. See, it's just like that. Talk about the boarding schools, because people are not really thinking about the boarding school. You are thinking about the morning and afternoon classes and all of that. What about boarding schools? What are they going to do about it? There are schools that only practice boarding system. So what are they going to do about it? Are you going to come to school in the morning, maybe travel from Port Harcourt to Lokoja in the morning, and then in the afternoon you go back to Port Harcourt? It's not going to be sustainable. So we really need to have this policy completely fleshed out. It's not well organized yet. They really need to think more about it so that we can know what we can do about situations like that, because not all situations can just fit into going to school in the morning and coming back in the afternoon, and another said going to school in the afternoon. So that's how it is. So those are the situation on ground. Everything, those are just basically what is going on. Those are the things they are trying to consider before they can decide upon reopening the schools. So anyway, thank you everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's really going to help the channel to grow. And as we are really trying as much as possible to follow what is going on the reopening of schools and every other thing happening, we always post a lot of videos every single day. Make sure you check the YouTube channel for all the videos today and the previous videos. Is really going to help. Check the Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe and like the Facebook page, and also follow us on Instagram and everything. Like, just do everything. Just check all across all the social media and platforms, and just check for Nigeria on Seed. We are everywhere, so no problem. Thank you very much everyone. I'll be seeing you guys next time.